that walking is a really useful tool for fat loss. We need to ask the
And welcome to Top Think. Today we'll learn about 10 amazing benefits of going for a walk. Now, let's begin. Staying healthy can be difficult. With so many diets, exercises, and routines out there, it's hard to know which ones work and which ones don't. We get so caught up in the nuances of staying healthy that we often forget about a simple routine with amazing health benefits. Of course, we're talking about walking, an easy exercise that many of us do every day. If we're able, we walk through our homes to our cars and around the grocery store. For many people, walking is like second nature. We do it without thinking, but this common exercise is more than just a way to get around. It also has incredible benefits for your mental and physical health, which you can take advantage of almost anytime and anywhere. Unlike most physical exercises, if you want to walk, you hardly need anything to get started except maybe a little time and a sturdy pair of shoes. After that, the rest is up to you. You can walk in the gym or outside in nature. You can walk at a fast pace or enjoy a leisurely stroll. Whatever walking looks like for you, this accessible activity can help you stay healthy and happy. With that, let's dive into the 10 surprising benefits of simply going for a walk. Number 1. Recharge your batteries. Walking is a natural energy booster, similar to drinking a cup of coffee. According to a 2017 study in the journal Physiology and Behavior, walking gives you about as much energy as a small caffeinated drink. A brisk walk activates our bodies, improving blood flow and increasing heart rate. This makes us more motivated and alert, giving us energy for hours. So the next time you feel sluggish and tired, recharge your batteries with a walk. Even 10 minutes of moderate activity can give you enough energy to get through the day. Number 2. Strengthen your relationships. Walking is a great activity to enjoy alone, but it's even more beneficial with friends and family. Many people use regular walks as opportunities to catch up with loved ones and strengthen relationships. For example, you might stroll around a scenic area with an old friend, getting some exercise while talking and sharing stories. Thanks to its bonding effects, people who walk together stay more connected, resolve conflicts more easily, and cooperate more effectively. Walking also stimulates feelings of happiness and camaraderie. In other words, after walking with someone, you may feel closer than ever. If you want to strengthen your relationships, schedule regular walks with the most important people in your life. No matter who you invite, walks can be excellent opportunities to bond and reconnect. Number 3. Make yourself happy. How much we move every day has a significant impact on our mood. If we spend too much time sitting, we may hit a slump, but when we get moving, our energy levels increase and our mood may improve. We enter a better state of mind, viewing ourselves, the world, and our lives through a more positive lens. Why? Well, because walking triggers a mood-boosting reaction inside of our bodies. Every time you walk, a flood of hormones called endorphins goes coursing through you. Endorphins are known to reduce stress and relieve pain, but they also increase well-being, and they even promote long-term satisfaction. By walking consistently, you're not just staying healthy, you're also bringing happiness into your life. Number 4. Lengthen your life. It's no secret that aerobic activities are good for your health, but did you know that walking can also lengthen your lifespan? According to the American Heart Association, walking is strongly correlated with lower mortality rates. In other words, people who walk more often are less likely to die. Now, this comes from an analysis of 17 different studies that examine the health and habits of more than 220,000 adults. It turns out that people who walk 7,000 steps per day are significantly less likely to die from all causes than people walking only 4,000 steps per day. Risk factors decrease further for people walking 8,000, 9,000, or 10,000 steps daily. Other factors like diet and lifestyle are likely influencing these numbers, but the power of walking is hard to ignore. Even if you add just 1,000 steps, a little walking goes a long way. Number 5. Connect with your community. People who spend a lot of time indoors sometimes feel cut off from the rest of the world. They may go days without talking to others face to face, which can exacerbate feelings of isolation. But going for a walk can remind you that you're not alone. Walking is a great way to connect with your community. It creates opportunities to chat with familiar faces like neighbors or local business owners. It also cultivates a sense of appreciation for where you live and the environment you call home. So make a habit of exploring your community on foot. Take a walk around your neighborhood, a local park, or a nearby shopping center. If ever you're feeling alone or isolated, walking can restore your connection to the world around you. Number 6. Boost your brain power. Do you ever have trouble concentrating? Sometimes we feel foggy and unproductive. We try to work, but our brains just aren't performing the way we hope. In these moments, it's easy to get frustrated and overwhelmed, but all you need to jumpstart your brain is a little exercise. Walking is one of the easiest and fastest ways to give your brain a boost. A brisk walk increases the flow of blood to your brain, which enhances critical cognitive functions like memory and attention. So, if you're feeling stumped, a few minutes of aerobic activity can boost your brain power and productivity. Number 7. Walking meditation. We often think of walking as a form of exercise, but it can also function as a kind of meditation. Walking meditation is the practice of mindfulness in motion, an everyday tool for relieving stress and calming our minds. The benefits of walking meditation are diverse and far-reaching. It slows the pace of our thoughts, focusing our attention on simple movements and sensations. For example, you might notice your muscles moving as you lift your legs or your weight shifting from one foot to the other. Concentrating on these small movements stills your thoughts and grounds you in the present moment. When your mind is grounded and clear, you can appreciate the simple pleasures of living, moving, and feeling. If you want to practice walking meditation, you only need to get outside and walk. Don't worry about the pace or the distance. Just simply enjoy the act of walking and let your mind wander freely. Do what comes naturally for at least 15 minutes at a time. And when you're done, try to bring the same awareness to other aspects of your life. It may not seem like much, but a quiet, meditative walk can change the way you think. Number 8. Jumpstart your heart. We all know that exercise is good for our hearts. Aerobic activities lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, increase blood flow, and reduce stress, all of which are important for long-term heart health. What most people don't realize is how much walking can impact cardiovascular health and wellness. According to a 2011 study, it only takes 15 minutes of walking per day to give your heart a significant boost. This is especially important for people with largely sedentary habits who may experience lower energy levels and greater stress. Add a little walking to your daily routine and your heart can stay strong and healthy. Number 9. Think outside the box. Many of the greatest artists throughout history were regular walkers. For example, Charles Dickens and Ernest Hemingway, two of the world's most famous writers, enjoyed long walks almost every day. For them, walking was a way to ignite their imagination. Every walk stimulated the creative parts of their brains, helping them find inspiration in the world around them. You never know what you might experience, who you might talk to, or what connections you might make. These artists swore by the power of walking, and it turns out that science is on their side. For example, a study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, Learning, Memory, and Cognition found that walking can boost creative ideation in real time and shortly after. Participants in this study performed better on creative thinking tests while walking and shortly thereafter compared to sitting. When we exercise, our brains may generate new ideas and innovative solutions to problems that we couldn't solve before. So the next time you're stuck on a problem, strap on your walking shoes and go for a stroll. To paraphrase Henry David Thoreau, when your legs begin to move, your thoughts start to flow. Number 10, maintain your brain. Like any part of the body, the brain is subject to aging and disease. Over time, cognitive functions like memory start to slip. New nerves stop growing and the brain's volume slowly declines. However, simple lifestyle changes can promote long-term brain health and increase cognitive performance. Walking, in particular, enhances the growth of new neurons and increases connectivity throughout the brain. This is critical for maintaining important cognitive functions like memory and problem solving. Every second, the areas of your brain are working together to process information, to solve problems, and to navigate the world around you. If those areas become disconnected, common brain function steadily declines. Luckily, a regular walking routine can keep your brain sharp and healthy over time. According to a 2010 study from the University of Illinois, walking at least 3 times per week increases connectivity throughout the brain. Avid walkers also perform better on cognitive tests, demonstrating stronger memory recall, greater planning skills, and better multitasking. Now, nothing can guarantee that your brain or any part of your body stays healthy indefinitely, but walking is one of the most effective ways to protect your brain now and for years to come. Thank you for watching.
Wow. Refreshing, don't you think? Walking. Did you ever think that walking was so potent? Did you ever think? And then persons are giving you all these antidepressants and all these things. Double check. Can you hear me, everyone? I hope you can hear me. Right? They give you all the antidepressants and all these things to take when you can simply go for a walk to clear your mind, as some people would say. You don't necessarily need to take all these things. You just need to go outside more. Go outside and get some fresh air into your lungs. Go outside and just breathe the fresh air and get some sunlight. For those who live in the colder countries, you may not be able to go outside all the time. But let me tell you, while I was in Canada, I saw lots of persons walking outside in the snow. Walking outside when it's cold, and Alberta is like very cold. Okay. And persons were walking outside because, as if they're saying to themselves, I need to get out, I need to move outside, I need to do. So they are well clothed, properly attired, and they are walking outside. So my encouragement to us is that we don't take walking as just a simple thing, but we understand the benefits, how powerful walking is, how powerful it is for our bodies and for our minds, our cognitive skills, and all these things. Walking is essential. Let me ask you a question. And mind you, if you can't go outside into the fresh air and you have a treadmill, it's treadmill or treadmill, you can walk on that because you're still getting the benefits of walking. The only thing that you'll be missing is the fresh air. But you can walk on that, and get your body really healthy. Heart health, brain health, it's very important. I want to know your feedback. Do you walk? Do you walk any at all? Why don't you walk? I'd love to know. Whether you want to talk to me in the chat at 825 343 or you jump on here on the YouTube and tell me, do you walk? Do you enjoy walking at all? And those who are on TikTok, if you do walk, how long do you walk? I'd love to hear. But this gentleman I'm going to show you now, he's going to tell us that there's a good time to walk, a better time to walk.
Is there a way we can get a bit more bang for our buck and really get more from walking to aid our fat loss? It turns out there is. So here are 3 ways that you can schedule walking into your daily routine and really fire up that weight loss. Number 1, walking in the morning. Now, getting out of bed first thing in the morning and going for a walk before breakfast doesn't sound tempting, but it's a really good idea, and here is why. When you're asleep, you're in what's called a naturally fasted state. Your last meal was quite a number of hours before, and the elevated blood sugar that you will have had from that meal has now dampened down, and so your body is now into a natural fat burning state. If you get out of bed and then have breakfast, then what's actually going to happen then is you're going to up your blood sugar, and that's going to release insulin, which is going to effectively block any fat burning. You go back into sugar burning. So if you were to go for a walk after breakfast, for example, that's not a good thing because you're not going to be burning fat, you're going to be burning sugar.
All right, guys. So note carefully what he's saying. He's saying it's best to walk in the morning before you have breakfast. Before you have breakfast. So while your body is still burning fat. For this is now for the benefit of those persons who want to shed some weight. Personally, as I said, some time ago, I took it really seriously. I took my weight. I was going and I lost lots of weight. But what I did, I walked in my fasting state. So I didn't eat. And so I'm testifying to let you know that it actually works when you do your walking before you actually have your breakfast.
However, if you get out for a walk before you've had breakfast, when you're still in that naturally fasted state, guess what? Your body is still naturally burning fat as a preferred fuel source. And as long as you keep the walking nice and low intensity, a nice gentle stroll, you're going to maximize the potential fat loss. Because if you were to increase the intensity, for example, if you were to go for a run, for example, your body's going to be more sort of in a stressful state and want to get more sugar from your stored glycogen inside your muscles. But if you keep the walk nice and gentle, nice and relaxed, it's not going to do that. It's going to rely mainly on fat stores. So how long should you do first thing in the morning? 10-15 minutes is good. If you can get 30 minutes in, that's even better. It's actually going to help, increase your appetite as well. So by the time you get back for your breakfast, you're going to really enjoy your breakfast and it's going to kickstart your day. Number 2. Okay, during the day, and this might not apply to everybody because if you have an active job, let's say you're a postman or something like that, you're going to be on your feet a lot all day. So this doesn't really apply in that situation. However, if you are like many of us where you spend much of your working day sat down at an office desk, quite sedentary, then these points are quite important. But as we sit for extended periods of time, the body's going to start switching off. And what I mean by that is, when you're in a nice comfortable office chair, you may think that's a great office chair, but your skeleton, your muscles are all saying, well, I don't need to be supporting my frame anymore, I'll let the chair do it. So in effect, what's happening is all the muscle groups are effectively switching off. It also means you're in an unnatural position, with your thighs up and then bent down at the knees and you're bent at the waist. It's not a position that the human body was actually ever meant to be in, but we're putting ourselves into that position for long periods of the day. So what can we do about that? Well, it's quite simple. Once an hour, get up, go for a walk. Now that may just be to the kitchen to get a cup of tea. It may just be to go to the toilet. Or if you can get outside the building, just go for a 5-minute stroll around the block and back. What's going to happen in those 5 minutes? Well, it's not so much about calorie burn, because you're not going to burn many calories in 5 minutes of walking, but what you are going to do is you're going to re-switch on and re-engage those muscles. It's going to straighten the body out. Now, here's the thing. It's very difficult to walk with bad posture. You're more natural to be upright, but it's very easy to sit with bad posture. We all slouch over our desks. I'm going to hold my hand up and say I do that as well. It's unavoidable when you're in the middle of work. But if you can get up and go for a nice walk, stride out, straighten the body up, you're re-engaging the muscles and you're switching everything back on. Okay, so I'm not talking about a huge calorie burn here, 5 minutes an hour, but what we are going to do, and you'll be surprised at how much you're increasing your daily step count. Now, as well as these 5-minute bursts of walking that you can do once every hour, if you can get out for a 15, 20 or even 30-minute walk after you've had something to eat, all the better, because that's going to help not only increase the step count, a more noticeable calorie burn, but also it's going to help get the insulin back under control because you're damping down the blood sugar that you're going to increase because of the meal you've just had. And number 3, the end of the day. You've just had your evening meal. Now is the perfect time to get out for a walk. And here's why. For most people, your evening meal is the biggest meal of the day. It may be the most calorie-laden meal of the day.
Let me jump in right here. Most times when after we've eaten dinner, what do we do? What do we do after we've eaten? Do we What do we do after we've eaten dinner? After dinner, and the man is rightly saying, we have a big meal for dinner. And some of us, we don't have breakfast or lunch. And so dinner time is almost like we're taking out vengeance on the food. We have a big meal. And a lot of times we sit and go watch TV, or if we're tidying the kitchen, we tidy up the kitchen and we actually just go sit. Some persons go to sleep. Am I right? 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 We don't really think of going for a walk after you've eaten. Okay. Wow. Let's go.
You've been a little bit indulgent, shall we say. But that said, your blood sugar will have gone up quite noticeably because it's the main meal of the day. So if you can get out for a walk, it's going to immediately start damping down that blood sugar and keeping the insulin from spiking too high. Insulin essentially is going to block fat burn. The second you have insulin in your bloodstream, you cannot burn fat. So we need to get that insulin down. So again, like I just said, your evening meal has spiked your blood sugar, out comes the insulin, we need to control that. So go now for a good 30 minutes, if you can get an hour's walk in, or if it's nice summer's evening, something like that, then you're going to really help control, bring that blood sugar down, keep that insulin under control, and get the body back closer into its fasted state for when you go to bed, which is when the fat burn is going to happen. You're going to help with your digestion. Now, after a big meal, I'm sure we've all from time to time felt that little bit full, that little bit bloated. Well, as you walk, the movement, the motion of the body is just helping things, certainly your previous meals that are still in your digestive system. It's going to help everything to work its way through, keeping everything regular, if you know what I mean. It's going to help everything to work its way through. Your digestion is going to improve. Another good thing about walking at the end of the day is it's a good chance to de-stress. You know, walking outside in the fresh air, it's been proven to help bring stress levels down. That's going to improve your mental well-being. You know, you may have had a stressful day at work. Stress, incidentally, is another huge reason for fat gain, because again, that releases another hormone called cortisol, which is another video I can end up making. But essentially, by keeping the stress levels down, keeping the blood sugar down, you're really going to maximize and give your body every opportunity to burn fat. And as well as controlling your stress levels, calming the body down, you're going to set yourself up for a good night's sleep. And a good night's sleep, I hope we all know, is one of the best ways to burn fat. A body in a nice relaxed state, low stress, good quality sleep, it's going to really aid any kind of fat loss. And if you can dampen down the blood sugar and if you can lower your stress levels, you're going to set yourself up for a good night's sleep. So if we can agree that
Wow. Well, well, hmm. Well, walking, the benefits of walking. So it's not just for losing weight, but it's also beneficial for the mental space, the brain, and even for socialization, because even when you walk with people, family member, spouse, whatever, it's also good for relationships because it gives you a chance you talk together and stuff like that. You connect. So walking is really a big deal. Whether it is 15 minutes to half an hour, it's a big deal. And when we talk about the meals, eating, most times we in Jamaica, let me say, how many persons eat your dinner at an early time? Most times it's pretty late. But he's saying that, listen, you've got to walk. Some other countries are more structured in terms of what time they have dinner. But after you've eaten, what he's saying is best to walk. And in walking, you're preparing yourself to have a good night's rest. And when you have a good night's rest, it's going to impact cortisol, which is the weight gain factor there when you're stressed, right? And so you get a good night's rest. So you're somewhat relieved because you have offloaded some of that stress. So you can get a better sleep. And when you get a better sleep, you lose weight in your sleep. You lose weight in your sleep. I like the sound of that, losing weight in your sleep. That sounds good. But deep sleep is important, let me add. Deep sleep is critical because you need to be sleeping deeply to really have that good weight loss. Wow, this was interesting. I'd love to hear from you. Send me a WhatsApp message. Jump on over and send me a WhatsApp message at 825 343 4486 and tell me your take, because I would love to know if you knew all these things and if you have tried any of them, if you've benefited, and even the time of the day. How many of us we sit at our desk, we go to work, sit at our desk, and we stay at our desk all day until 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. We sit at our desk all day. We work from home. We sit there all day. We don't get up once. We don't even go to the bathroom. We do nothing. We sit there. Danger. Danger. As the man said, our body wasn't built to be in this sitting position for so long. So get up and walk outside. I'm going to walk outside when I'm done. I'm definitely going to walk outside, even if it's just to walk at the front, down the end of the road to the other end of the road. I'm going to walk. We've got to get our bodies moving. And these are some of the things that impact us physically, why we can't even give God 100%, because we are not well. We are not well. We're not well in our bodies. We're not well in our minds. And it doesn't take a lot. It takes simple. Look at simple walking. Simple walking. You are able to walk. Not that you're sick, you're able to walk. Walk. Walk in your house. Okay. So you can't go outside. Walk in your house. Walk back and forth to the front door, to the back door, into the kitchen. Just walk. I encourage you today, as your coach, begin to do something. Changes will not happen until you want them to happen. No change will take place, not one, until you've decided to do something about it. Thank you for joining me on the YouTube segment right here on HGG Radio, The Optimal You, with yours truly, your life coach and host, Renae. We're going to jump back over into studio and continue our discussion. And remember, I need to show you the program that we missed out on yesterday. God bless you. We'll do it again tomorrow, God's willing, and all things being equal. Tomorrow is finance. Let's do it again. God bless. God bless.